Hello friends, once again I am Professor N.F. Jadhav. Welcome you all into the class of chemistry. Friends, we know that from last previous different types of lectures on electrochemistry, we will going to understand the concept present on electrochemistry chapter. Previous some lectures we will going to understand the different types of concepts, and later on that we will come on the final part of our topic, and the part is nothing but the applications of electrochemistry. Friends, we know that the electrochemistry or electrolysis process gives us a wide range of applications, and out of that the 4 applications are present in our syllabus. And these 4 applications are nothing but the electrotyping, electroplating, electrorefining and electrometallurgy. We know that friends, from these applications we are going to obtain a pure form of metal from impure form. But this formation will take place in the presence of electric current, so that in the formation of pure metal we will going to use electric current and make some process, and finally we get the pure form of metal. So that let us start our today's concept. Today's concept is nothing but the applications of electrolysis process. In last lecture we will going to understand very well the process of electroplating, and along with them we will also learn the example of electroplating, and that example is nothing but the electroplating of silver. Later on that, in our today's lecture we will going to start second very important application of electrolysis process, and that application is nothing but the electrorefining process. Electrorefining process. This is the second very important application of electrolysis process. Friends, before going to the concept of electrorefining, let's understand the definition. The definition of this electrorefining is nothing but the electrorefining, it is one of the process. The electrorefining is nothing but it is one of the process. Friends, in this process what happened? We obtain pure form of metal from impure form. And this change will take place by means of, in the presence of electric current. By using of whole this knowledge, we will going to rearrange some words and make the definition of electrorefining. So this electrorefining is nothing but it is one of the process of obtaining pure form of metal from impure form of metal by the passage of electric current. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, याची जर व्याख्या आपण बघायला गेली तर इलेक्ट्रोरिफायनिंग इज नथिंग बट इट इज वन ऑफ द प्रोसेस. ही एक अशी पद्धत आहे ज्या पद्धतीमध्ये आपल्याला प्युअर फॉर्म ऑफ मेटल भेटतो, कुणापासून तर इम्प्युअर फॉर्म पासून भेटतो. आणि केव्हा भेटतो तर ज्यावेळेस आपण इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास करतो त्यावेळेस आपल्याला भेटतो. सो दॅट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोरिफायनिंग इज नथिंग बट the process in which obtaining pure form of metal from impure form in the presence of electric current. This is all about the definition of electrorefining. Now, which are the different types of metal we will going to obtain? So, the different examples like zinc, copper, Ag, silver, gold. These are the different examples that we will going to obtain from the electrorefining process. Now that we will going to understand what is the exact process of electrorefining. What is the exact process of electrorefining? Before going to start the exact process, we will going to understand the diagram of electrorefining process. In this process, look in this diagram, one beaker is present. This one is nothing but beaker. These are the two different rods. Out of that, one is a rod present in pure form. Both the rods are made by one of the metal, and that metal is nothing but copper metal. Both the rods are present in electrolytic solution, and the electrolytic solution is nothing but copper sulfate, and these two rods are dipped in electrolytic solution. Out of that two rods, one rod is blister copper, and this blister copper rod plays a role of anode in case of electrorefining. Now the meaning of blister word is nothing but impure. Blister is nothing but impure. In another side, this one is also rod, but this rod is present in pure form, and both the rods are connected to the electric wire where the electric battery is present. And in this electric battery, one part is nothing but negative and another part is positive, where we will going to connect the electric wire. After the understanding of whole this part, we will going to just understand what will be exact take place in the electrorefining process. So in this process, what happened? Impure metal plays a role of anode. We know that here the blister copper will be present, but this blister is nothing but impure copper, and that impure copper plays a role of anode. In another slide, the remaining rod means pure metal rod plays a role of cathode. Impure metal plays a role of anode, while the pure metal plays a role of cathode. Now, third point of our process or explanation is both anode and cathode are present in electrolytic solution. Both anode and cathode are present in electrolytic solution, and that electrolytic solution is nothing but copper sulfate. That electrolytic solution is nothing but copper sulfate. Friends, when we are going to pass the electric current from this electric battery, at that time what happened? Chemical decomposition of this copper sulfate will take place. We know that when the decomposition of that copper sulfate will take place, at that time plus charges and minus charges will be get separated. We know that in case of copper sulfate, copper is present in positive charge while the sulfate is present in negative form. So that purpose, the different types of reactions will be present on the anode as well as cathode. In case of anode, how the decomposition will be take place, we will going to understand. In case of anode and cathode, both the electrode gives different types of reaction. In case of anode, we know that the copper metal is present, and when the dissociation will be take place, then we get copper 2 plus 2 electron minus. At the same time, in case of cathode, the reaction like copper 2 plus 2 electron, and it gives copper. Exactly opposite to the copper anode, the cathodic reaction will be take place. And when the reaction will be take place, at that time the generation of positive as well as negative charge will be take place. The generation of positive and negative charge will be take place. After that, what happen? Positive charge ions. After that, what happen? The positive charge ions travel towards cathode, while negative charge, positively charged ions traveling towards cathode, means this side, while the negatively charged ions travel towards this side, means positively charged ions travels towards cathode, while the negative charged ions travel towards anode. But this will be take place when the decomposition of CuSO4 take place as a copper to plus SO4 to minus. म्हणजेच हे जे डिकम्पोजिशन आहे किंवा आयनचं कॅथोड एनोड किंवा कॅथोड कडे होणारे जे ट्रॅव्हलिंग आहे ते केव्हा होईल? ज्यावेळेस इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सोल्यूशन मध्ये आपण इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास करू तेव्हा, आणि ते झाल्यानंतर जे काही पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज आहेत ते कॅथोड कडे जातील, निगेटिव्ह चार्ज आहेत ते एनोड कडे जातील. आफ्टर दॅट व्हॉट हॅपन? This process is continued till whole the pure metal is formed. Same process will be repeat take place. The electric current is continuously passed. The electric current is continuously passed on this area, and in this area, what happened? The large number of positive as well as negative charges are generated, and these charges, positive charge travel towards cathode, while the negative charge will be travel towards anode. And finally what happen? Anode get dissolved. These anode get dissolved, and in the bottom side of this anode we got the impurities, and that impurity is nothing but the anode mud. This impurity is going to call as anode mud, and at the same time anode get decomposition, while at the same time cathode refine. ज्यावेळेस आपल्याकडं एनोडचं डिकम्पोजिशन होतं त्याच वेळेस आपल्याला जो कॅथोड आहे तो कॅथोड आपल्याला प्युअर फॉर्म मध्ये भेटतो. दिस इज नथिंग बट द प्रोसेस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोरिफायनिंग. अँड फायनली व्हॉट हॅपन? The cathode is present in the form of a refine, and later on that the copper electron will be washed by means of distilled water, because we obtained the pure form of copper. So that purpose last step is nothing but we will wash the copper, and finally we get dry form of copper electron. Finally we get dry form of copper electrode. So that the electrorefining process is nothing but it is one of the process where we get the pure form of metal from impure form of same metal by the passage of electric current. In simple way, in this process what happened? The two different electrodes, out of that one is present in pure form, another is present in impure form. Both the electrodes are dipped in electrolytic salt solution, and when the electric current passed on that salt solution, at that time what happened, the decomposition of that salt solution will take place, and after the decompositions, the positively charged ions as well as the negatively charged electric ions will be get separated, and the positive charged ions will be deposited on cathode while the negatively charged ions will be deposited on anode. Finally, this process will be continued once still the pure form of metal obtained, and finally the anode get decomposed and we get the anode mud into the bottom of anode electrode. At the same time, we get a refined form of cathode. After that, this cathode will be washed by using distilled water, and finally we will going to dry this cathode, and this cathode is nothing but it is present in a refined form, it is present in pure form, so that the electrorefining process is useful for the purification of metal. This is all about the process of electrorefining. In our next lecture, we will going to understand the best example of electrorefining process. So, in our today's lecture, we will going to stop here. Thank you very much.